Hello, welcome back to yet another Merchant's Voyage devlog. It's been a while since we've uploaded, but we've been very busy progressing on this game and a few other things in the background. But we're happy to announce that we've launched a Steam page now, so if you're interested in this game, please go ahead and wishlist it. The link is in the description below, and thank you in advance. I'm going to touch on a variety of different aspects of the game's development, including gameplay mechanics, environments, UI, and much more. So yeah, let's get right to it. First things first, as you're already seeing, the Star Island has been changed significantly since the last video, and I've also created a variety of new assets such as fences, metal panels, makeshift windmills, and other small assets like nails, duct tape, and things of that nature, just to make the world feel more alive, to make it make sense as to where you currently are. So our goal is to kind of match the assets with the theme of the game and the environment the players are currently in. That's pretty much it as far as the Star Island goes. We've made improvements on the other islands that you can randomly find while exploring, which I will show later on in this video.
Hello, I'm Zaid, the programmer, and I want to show you how I went about the island resource generation. So I made a system which uses editor tools as well to place the resources on the maps. In this case is the trees, and this works for any resources. So we place them, there's a gizmo to show how they would look, and in runtime, when you play the game, the resource will spawn in that exact location, and you can have different variations of this to have different resource spawning every time you access that island, so it's not always the same. And this also works with every resources. Like I said, here is to do with the bush. You can see I can place the bushes where I want it to be, and it's that exact location.
Our UI has been improved significantly and feels a lot more polished, mainly due to the fact that we now have custom icons. Previously we were obviously using placeholders, and nothing is set in stone or finalized. However, they contribute to the overall feel of the game quite a lot. In terms of functionality, nothing major has changed. We fixed a couple of bugs with stack sizes and things of that nature. However, that'd be pretty boring to show, so I'm not going to bother showing that. Additionally, while I was making these icons, I decided to implement new items to the game. Yeah, these additions have overall improved the inventory a significant amount. It feels more like a game, it feels more polished, and I'm very pleased with the outcome of them, considering I've got no experience in making game icons at all. I've also added bars for health, hunger, and thirst on the bottom left, and they also have icons dedicated to them. I also worked on the item pickups, so now they look a lot cleaner and nicer on the side of your screen. I've also done some touch-ups to our crafting UI. We now have more functionality in the crafting in general. Added more recipes to test around with, like nails, rope, and pickaxe or whatever. And now, based on the amount of resources you have, you can craft multiple at once to make your life a lot easier.
Boring!
Now that this boring UI is out the way, I can show you something a bit more fun, or at least what I consider fun, and that's the new animal we added in the game. We started off with an aggressive type of animal, being the bear.
What the hell is this?
The AI for this is currently being worked on, so I can only show off the visual side of things. Since we're more of a two-man team without a massive budget, we have to work within our limitations. In this case, the bear is an asset, and the animations are also a part of the asset. However, I'm personally not a huge fan of just getting an asset and dragging and dropping it in, so I do like to change it visually. In my case, I use Substance Painter to remake the high poly version of the mesh, created a new normal map alongside a brand new texture that matches the stylized appearance of the environments. And for anyone interested, I use Substance Painter and Blender to do these things. And just for reference, this is the original visual style that the assets come in. I'm leaving the more technical aspects of the video for Zaid. However, I do want to mention that there is a new asset for a crafting table and a steering wheel that obviously don't have textures yet, but with a crafting table you can now craft crates, and these crates are basically the main thing you're transporting to make money. Similar to games like Sea of Thieves, you can pick up these crates, take them to outposts and sell them, or you actually have customers directly come to you and request specific crates. These customers also linked with the newspaper, which drops on your ship daily and reveals to you the most valuable items of the day.
Just so you know, every programming in this game was done by me from scratch without using any gameplay programming tools. So there will be some bugs and improvements which would need to be made for every systems. But here is the customer service system. Customers fly to your ship and they request an item, and you give them the item and you get paid for it.
It's currently very early stages. We intend to have two types of quests, one being a main story quest and one a side quest. Main story quests impact your progression throughout the game and what you unlock, and side quests can just be found anywhere with side NPCs to get a mixture of rewards, whether they're good, bad, or whatever the case may be, and you might be able to encounter random NPCs on random islands which will give you a small quest for that specific island. The The current system we have in place allows for dialogue, and once certain sections of the dialogue are met, you accept a quest, and once that quest is accepted, you get a small preview on the top right which informs you of what you're supposed to do. Now eventually we're going to have a journal as well that you can track these quests through, but for now it will just be a preview on the top right. Within these quests you can have a kill quest, which will involve you killing animals or enemies, a gather quest, which will essentially make you go gather a material, or a merchandise related quest which will require you to collect a crate or something like that to bring over to him. Once your requirement is met, it will show on the top right of your screen on that UI, and once you interact with the NPC again, he will give you your reward. That's pretty much the basics of the quest system. Eventually I'd like to have cutscenes and things of that nature to make them feel more in depth. As a quick note as well, you might have already noticed, but we do have durability bars on tools, which is consumed based on the amount of damage you do to a resource. Axes will only be able to damage trees, pickaxes will only be able to damage rocks, and the durability will be consumed when they hit those. And of course, once your durability reaches 0, the tool will break. Remember when I said we were done with boring UI? Yeah, well, I lied. We have a basic main menu with some decent functionality of just navigating around the buttons. Our goal is to implement a world creation system, being able to create a new world and load it, similar to games like Raft or Valheim. And we'll also have a basic settings menu as well as credits and the typical exit button and things like that. In terms of the visuals, they'll go through a significant change in the future, but for now, what we currently have will do. As mentioned earlier, the current islands within the game have had a small overhaul in terms of visuals, with the additions of the resource spawners mentioned by Zaid earlier in the video. I've also improved the general set dressing of the islands, however due to some implications with the ship movement, these islands will probably have to change quite drastically, so expect them to look completely different next time. But that pretty much covers the progress we've made. If you've reached this far into the video, thank you, and don't forget to wish us the game on Steam. See you in the next one.